Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of TJ Plays with some AI stuff. Since no one's really asked me about our Southleft MCP, no, just kidding, a bunch of people have asked me about it. I thought I would show a little bit more about some of the features and things that we do with it. So we call it the Southleft MCP because it's basically like a WordPress MCP, but just tailored to custom block editor modules that we've created. So it kind of has like a manifest of all of the native block editor Gutenberg blocks that are in our like flexible layout type infrastructure on the back end in our custom WordPress theme. But then we also have like a handful of 15 to 20 or so custom blocks that we've created that it also includes in there. I'll take you through the whole process though. So like this is Claude desktop. Claude in the browser. Everything we're going to do here is going to be in the browser. And I'll just show you how we connect to it. So we go to the settings, and then we go to connectors. And then I already have it in here loaded, but if you wanted to, you would just add a new connector, you put the name of it, and then the remote MCP URL to it. And then so I go to Southleft connector, connect. And then this will bring me to this. It's a Pantheon site. So I'm going to actually do this live so everyone can see it. So I'm going to connect to the live site. I am the admin. And the application password is the one that you set on your profile, if you understand how that part works. It's like a separate password than you would use other than your WordPress admin password. So I'm going to authorize this. And then it takes a second for that handshake to happen. And then it reroutes you back here to the settings. And then you'll see Southleft has been connected. And if I click here, it'll show all the different configuration options that it has. It can delete posts, create posts, search posts, does the health of the system, attach media. It can get schema data. It has taxonomy access to create, read, analyze, post, all the things. So, all right, back to here. So like the low-hanging fruit with this would be like, all right, I'll just create an article, which is typically what I mostly use it for, because articles are the ones where I showed in a previous video where I can just kind of riff a little bit and then workshop the idea with Claude. And then once I get it all copy edited, I can just post it right up immediately. But for this one, I'm just going to let Claude do its thing. And then I'm going to provide it a little bit of guidance, but I'm going to, like, just for the sake of brevity with this demo, I just want to let Claude do its thing and then kind of take you through the steps of what's happening throughout the course of this content creation. So just to flex on some of the features of this MCP, we're not going to do an article. We're going to do like a marketing landing page, or like we'll do a service page. I'll say, I'm doing a demo right now for the Southleft MCP. And what I'd love to do is create a demo page for a new service that we're offering. This is all just fictitious, and it's all really just for this demo purposes. So I'm going to ask you to help create most of the content for this page. Let's say that the service that we're offering is a new grooming business for cats. So now we're going to really get into the cat grooming business. And I would love for this service page to really highlight all of the services that we offer within the industry of cat grooming. And I would love for it to leverage a lot of the various custom Gutenberg block editor modules that we have. You can use some of the other service pages that we have for referencing, and feel free to just go wild with the content. Like, I'll leave the content completely up to you. You can go nuts with the headers and the metadata and the copy and whatever else you want to do. So that was all dictated in there. And so that's all part of it. And what I did is I went through and I grabbed some images like of cats, because I thought these are pretty cool. So I'll say, here's the image that you can use for the hero image, because I like it and it's a really cute cat. So I'm just kind of giving it a little guidance here. And then I could say like, And here's a series of other images that you can use throughout the rest of the service offerings in whatever modules that you choose that may have image attachment capabilities. So now I'm just going to like fill it with these images that I found from this awesome stock site that has all these images of cats, and they're really cute. Look at that. So here, got that one. This may be too many images, but we'll just see what it gives us, because that's the exciting part. So put that in there, and we'll get this. Actually, this is where I got it from. Pexels, which is a pretty popular stock photography website. So, and that's it. So this is all the information that I'm going to give it. I'm going to let it go nuts on it. Hit submit. And remember, this is connected to the live site. So, I should have told it to publish it live, because it's probably just going to give me a preview link, which is fine. But I would like just to show the all the capabilities of this MCP. I really wanted to just push it out there and just let it go. Just be brave with it. Sometimes it's like depending on what you ask it to do and how much content you have in your site, it could exhaust a context window. Like if you have hundreds of thousands of posts, I don't know, like about 50,000 posts or something, and it needs to go through and reference a lot of those posts. If it's doing any sort of referencing, then that could take up a lot of your context window. But now, so it's going through, and we have a lot of advanced custom fields in our site, which is a little bit of a difficult thing for it to understand, which is why we have this Southleft manifest that we have created that has all of the various fields and field IDs associated with it. One of the cool things about this MCP is that it has full awareness of the fields that are associated with all of the different Gutenberg blocks that we have in there. And when it's writing or helping to write the content for the page, it understands how important the content that is being written is, and it chooses blocks to emphasize certain portions of that content that it's working with. So it might choose a call to action component or a Gutenberg block if something has like a header, a deck, maybe a kicker or an eyebrow, and something important like sign up for this newsletter or buy this product now, or whatever it might be. So this is doing its research. It's going through, it's collecting content, it's searching through posts, and now it's planning to put the plan compose content is something that's very specific to this Southleft MCP, or just if this were to be a more general WordPress MCP, this would be a big part of it. So the plan compose content is the process that goes into this, and this is one of the coolest parts, is that it looks at all of the other posts on the site that are specific to like this post type that it's creating, because the services thing, that the page that we're creating is a custom post type. It's not like a post or a page. It's just a blank flexible layout that has a lot of custom fields and custom metadata attached to it. So it needs to do a little bit of research on how other posts have done it, and then plan accordingly, because it doesn't want to just veer off and go off the guardrails and go into like something that looks completely different from our other services pages, because we've already established a bunch of the guidelines as to like what we typically include in these services pages. So just keep in mind, I haven't logged into WordPress at all. All I did was just authenticate through the connection. So it did a dry run, created a hero block. It's got some calls to action, and then so that's a part that it does as a dry run, just to be like, hey, this is some stuff that we did, and I'll say, yeah, this sounds great. Go ahead and post it live. Don't even worry about going through a preview or a draft period. Just post it live, give it a SEO friendly slug, and then post the link here so I can take a look at it. So it feels good about it. Let's just go back and see what it said it gave it. So it says it's going to do a hero block with a kicker, heading, deck, call to action, and that cute cat image that I like so much. It's got an accordion block with 6 items in it, expanding to 2 columns on why Whiskers works. That's great. It's got a couple of split media blocks with 4 services, alternating some layouts with a sticky heading. That's a typical pattern that we use in a lot of our different service pages. And then a pricing block with 3 tiers. And then a call to action block, which is appropriate. That sounds like a perfect like marketing type page that to market a specific service. So the create page, this MCP is essentially a WordPress API wrapper with a bunch of add-ons. There's like a bunch of stuff that we added onto it. Okay, so now it's done. So here, look at it, gave it a cat grooming service. That's perfect. Click on this, open the link, and then let's see what we get. Okay, we got the accordion, and it's got some content in here. It's got a pricing table, which is so it's pretty expensive. This is a cut. This is actually pulling a pricing table that we have that's specific to a specific service. So none of this content in here is actually editable. Let me see. So there's a couple of things that's not coming through in here. So your cat deserves this. Let me ask it to take another pass on it just to explain why it looks like some of the content that it said would appearing isn't appearing. Would you mind taking another pass at this page to ensure that the fields are properly lining up? It looks like we're missing a couple of the block editor modules, specifically the hero and the split media and the call to action block editor modules. So this should go back and reiterate over it and then take a look at maybe what it missed. Sometimes when it's working with like ACF fields, it's hard for it to match up. And for what it's worth, I did ask it to do a lot. So normally what would happen is when you're curating these pages, you're talking through and it's a lot of back and forth with Claude just for it to make sure it's working out the pieces that you want in there. So a lot of times I'll just kind of be toggling the tabs back and forth to ensure that I'm getting the pieces that I'm looking for in there. So this process is rare because rarely ever am I just saying, go nuts, just do the whole thing and do whatever you want and make it yours. Usually I come equipped with some ideas that I'm looking for, especially for articles. Like I already have a concept in mind that I want to discuss, and then I usually have the outline of that article all set up in my head. I just need a brain dump into the editor, and then like have it collect my thoughts and put it in a specific order. And then that part we usually workshop back and forth. And then just to be a little bit more mindful of how this content is getting posted, I do ask it to do it as a preview first, so that way I can review the preview. And then once it's in good shape, I'll just ask it to publish it. Rarely do I ever go into the actual post itself in the edit UI screen and do anything in there. Everything that I do through this one control panel, because the idea is to try to have this one control panel that controls it all. So right now, my quest for MCP madness is working out pretty well. But this is in early stages. We've only been using this for probably the past month or so to really post, to get into the groove of posting content. This kind of came up because we just dread creating case studies. And it's one of those things that it's difficult for us to gather all the content for and put everything together. And so it's better if we're able to kind of talk it through this process, especially with the power of like dictation tools when you use Whisperflow. It just helps out a lot. So it looks like there are some things that it took care of. Let's go ahead and take a look at it now and see what we got. All right, so we've got, like I said before, we have the split media here, the split accordions, which is great. We have all the content about medical grade sanitation, real-time updates to let them know how the cat's doing. 5 years of cat experience. That's great. We never rush your cat either. Cat grooming is a specialty, not a side hustle. That's great. It uploaded my media. So complete care, foolproof. It put a It put a contact link to our contact page in there. It also has full awareness of the pages and posts that already exist within the site, so it knows how to link to internal posts. So it put it on it used our sticky feature on here, so we get the content that sticks there. And then it duplicated that post. Oh, that's probably not what we want either. That's a lot of the same thing there. But okay, so this. Oh, I see. It's changed. It's using the one where it changes the content per post. So anyway, this is just a quick one that we're going through to show how this works. Like I mentioned before, this isn't something that is typically done. The cool part about this is I can constantly iterate on it and then ask it to update things along the way. Normally, I would be way better prepared and give it much more direction as to where I want it to do. One of the example pages that I think came out really well is this AI and design systems page that we created. So this was a page that took about maybe 30 or 40 minutes to put together, but I basically asked it to gather content from throughout the site, articles and case studies and various pages and services and other resources that I had created through Notion and Substack, and asked it to put that content together and create this page, which is basically just a flexible layout landing page. It's not really a service page or anything, but it did a great job in putting this together and in using like the split media part where it's like flipping back and forth between content. This one gives it like a little sticky thing. I asked it to find some of our posts. I gave it a bunch of these LinkedIn posts. It put our GitHub LinkedIn link in here for the Figma Console MCP, which is one of our more used MCPs when we're trying to work with Figma and code generation from designs. It advertises all of these things. So again, this was just all done through Claude desktop. I think some of this was done through Claude Code. Usually I use Claude Code for a lot of this stuff because it's just my go-to, but for these demos, sometimes it's just easier to use one platform like the browser and just doing everything within the browser. So anyway, yeah, this is an example of a page that we created purely through Claude desktop. Again, if I wanted to, I can just go back in here and then say, hey, I'd like to have some repeatable images that use different images for that split media. I'd like to update I'd like to ensure that the hero image is populating correctly. And I'd like to ensure that that call to action module is fully filled out. So I'll go ahead and finish that just to make sure that the page is looking all good. I won't film any of that part, but I'll post the live link when it's done, and then I'll post this up just so that way everybody can take a look at it. All right. Anyway, this is a little bit of a long one. I hope I got you all the way through. Thanks a lot, and please let me know if you have any questions about any of this. See ya.